Hello friends, good morning. My name is Akash Sanjay Khubragade. I am a coordinator at Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge and PhD scholar at Delhi University. Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge is founded by Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir, and his idea behind to provide an academic space to scholars, professors, doctors who are engaged in the field of Dalit studies. And today, Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge going to have his 43rd lecture, and this lecture is a series that we started on the occasion of Dr. Ambedkar Jayanti, 14th of April 2025. Today, Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir going to chair this session, and also he is the key speaker. So I like to officially welcome him, and I like to take a pleasure to introduce and welcome him. Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara is former Vice Chancellor and founder of Karunyakara Institute of Dalit. He is the author of the book History of Dalit Identity, and the other one is Modernization of Buddhism. After completing his PhD from JNU, New Delhi, Dr. Karunyakara joined as assistant professor in the School of Ambedkar Studies, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, a Central University, Lucknow. He introduced the Dalit history course in MA history program. He was the instrumental in introducing 50% reservation for SC/ST students in BBAU admission. He founded Ambedkar University Dalit Student Union in 2000 and Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar Central University SC/ST Teachers Association in 2006. He joined as director professor in the Baba Saheb Ambedkar Sidhu Kanun Murmu Dalit and Tribal Studies Center, Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya. He held post as Dean of School of Culture and former Vice Chancellor of that university. I welcome Professor Karunyakara sir, and now I request Professor Karunyakara, and today Professor Karunyakara sir going to deliver his lecture on Dalit Christian Reservation and Annihilation of Caste. So I request Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir to please start his lecture.
Shalom, Jai Bhim, and good morning to all of you. Akash, could you start presentation PPT?
Yes, I'll do.
Yeah, today's lecture is on Dalit Christian Reservation and Annihilation of Caste. We are continuously having a lecture on Annihilation of Caste, a text written by Ambedkar. Within that context, does Dalit Christian has no caste? Does Dalit Christian annihilate caste? That's a question here. So before we go into the Dalit Christian status, the scheduled caste status of Dalit Christian, and the question of providing reservation, scheduled caste reservation to Dalit Christian. Let us revisit once again the history of Dalits, their fight for their dignity and protection for their civil rights during the British period. Unless we get to know the roots of the cause, roots of the issue, we arrive wrong conclusion. There are many people arriving the wrong conclusion because not many know the roots of the issue of scheduled caste reservation based on religion. As we know very well that in India, as on date, we have reservation to almost all communities based on the caste. Only scheduled castes have, only Dalits has only Dalit community has a reservation based on religion. Otherwise, all categories having reservation based on caste. Now let's go to the beginnings of the caste identity which got formulated during the British time. 1881, there was a caste census, population census in the Madras Presidency. Madras Presidency means it covers almost South India. The present day Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, even parts of Karnataka and Kerala. So almost South India that Madras Presidency covers. So 1881, there was a population census. In that records, there was a caste classification. Very interestingly, if you look into that 1881 census records carried out by the Madras Presidency under the British government, untouchables were recorded as non-Hindu. 1881 census was the first modern census, first census of its kind was taken place in India, in which untouchables were recorded as a non-Hindu. Particularly the community called Madiga. Madiga is a South Indian Chamar. This South Indian Chamar was recorded as non-Hindu in the Madras Presidency census records in 1881. You know, Ambedkar was not born. Ambedkar was born in 1891. Means even before Ambedkar, 10 years before Ambedkar, but the birth of Ambedkar, 10 years before the birth of Ambedkar, the Madras Presidency carried out the caste census, population census, in which all untouchables were recorded as a non-Hindu, and particularly the caste, Madiga, very clearly, the Chamar, South Indian Chamar, was very clearly mentioned as a non-Hindu in the first of kind census records took place in Madras Presidency in 1881. Remember, this is most important for reconstructing Dalit history of fighting for the social justice, equal rights. Next, there was one more census at all India level that was in 1921. So 1921 census of India, untouchables were very interestingly recorded as Hindus. When untouchables were included as a part of Hindus, suddenly Hindu population, Hindu category population became a majority in India. It was counted 68%. Out of every 10,000 people, 6,800 something people were Hindus. Because in 1921, untouchables were recorded as a part of Hindu. Why? 1881, untouchables were not Hindu. Chamars were not Hindu. But in 1921, untouchables became part of Hindu, and that made Hindu majority in India with a 68% recording as a Hindu population. Why it happened? It happened because British administration could not find any definition of Hindu. They could not find any definition of Hindu. If you ask that, why are you a Christian? A Christian could say that he believes in Bible, he believes in Jesus, that's why he is a Christian. If you ask a Muslim says that he is a believer of Quran, and he believes in Allah, Prophet Muhammad. That's why he is a Muslim. If you ask a Buddhist, he will say that he believes in Buddha, he believes in Panchashil and Ashtangika Marg. That's why he is, and he believes in Pali Pitaka, three Pitakas. That's why he is a Buddhist. If you ask a Sikh why he is a Sikh, he tells you that he believes in Adi Granth, Guru Granth Sahib, he believes in Guru Nanak and 10 Sikh Gurus. That's why he is a Sikh. If you ask why he is a Jain, he says that he believes in Mahavir. But if you ask a Hindu why he is a Hindu, there is no clear definition. Practically speaking, Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaishya Varnas were Sanatani Hindus since the Vedic times, because they believe in Vedas. But there is no clear-cut definition. Who is a Hindu? Because of that reason, you know what was the definition? British people, British administration found it. They formulated a Hindu definition stating that a Indian who is not Muslim, who is not Christian, who is not Sikh, who is not Buddhist, who is not Jain, who is not Parsi, is a Indian, is a Hindu. Now you understood the meaning of Hindu in 1921 census? Hindu means who is not a Christian, who is not a Muslim, who is not a Sikh, who is not a Buddhist, who is not a Jain, who is not a Parsi, is a Hindu. It's a very wrong definition. Why? If that is the case, there are many tribals who are enemies. There were many Dalits who are worshipping local goddesses, their own. That's what Kancha Ailaya argued that. When Kancha Ailaya says that he was not a Hindu because he worshipped Pochamma, Maisamma, Ailaya. These were all god and goddesses of local Kurma community, shepherd community, which Kancha Ailaya belonged in Telangana state. But with one definition, who doesn't belong to the major religions is a Hindu. By that definition, by default, all backward caste people, Shudras, Dalits, and Adivasi became a part of Hindu. From here started the problem. Till 1921 census, Dalits were treated as a non-Hindu. Adivasi were treated as a non-Hindu. But with in the 21 census, British could not find the definition to identify who is a Hindu. They formulated a definition stating that one who doesn't belong to any major religion, like Christianity, Buddhism, Sikhism, Jainism, Parsi, is a Hindu. Unfortunately, that definition included Shudra backwards, Dalits, Adivasi as a Hindu. The whole problem started since then. Since then, the whole problem started. Just because of Brahmins have no definition to call themselves as a Hindu, because Brahmins also says Hindu is not a religion. It's a way of life. Since it's a way of life, it's a caste-based way of life. So British people, instead of taking up caste census, they have made a religion census. Since they made a religion census in 1921, those who don't belong to any major religion were brought under the Hindu religion category. So this is the most important point when we want to construct a history of Dalits. When we want to construct a caste history. See here, 1921 census was not a caste census. It was a religion-based census. Since Hindus don't have any definition, they included all non-major religious people into Hindu, instead of calling them non-Hindu. British people could have created a separate identity called non-Hindu. Same as the case with the 1881 census, 1881 census. But they didn't do it. That was a mistake made by the British government in 1921 while making the census of India. Now next.
PowerPoint मध्ये दाखवते.
Someone. Next. Ambedkar opposed it. This 1991 census inclusion of Dalits, inclusion of untouchables as a Hindu. Ambedkar opposed it. And 1921 census was actually published. The main report was published in 1924. So Ambedkar opposed this. Ambedkar said that if untouchables were part of Hindu religion, then where is the position? What was the position of untouchables in Hindu Varna system? That was Ambedkar raised a question. Ambedkar posed a question to British government. If you are categorizing untouchables as a part of Hindu religion, then how do you locate untouchables in the Hindu Varna system? Untouchables were neither Brahmin, nor Kshatriya, nor Vaishya, nor Shudra. So how could you say that untouchables were part of Hindu? The basic question posed to the British government after the 1921 census. That was the premise of Ambedkar's argument when he made a presentation before Simon Commission in 1928 for demanding separate representation for Dalits, separate representation for the untouchables, as well as in 1931 in the second roundtable conference when he demanded separate electorates. So his argument was very simple. Ambedkar's argument was very simple. When you count untouchables as a part of Hindu population, then in Hindu Varna Vyavastha, in the Hindu Varna system, where do you locate them? What is their social status? What is their social position in Hindu Varna system? Without Varna system, without Varna Vyavastha, there is no Hindu society. Hindu society is based on Varna system. In the Varna system, there are only 4 Varnas. Where is a Dalit? Dalit is not a Shudra. Untouchable is not a Shudra. Shudra is a touchable. Shudra, though he is a lower Varna, but he is a touchable. All backward castes, present day backward castes are Shudras. OBCs are Shudras. Not only that, some Savarna Shudras are also there, like Patel, Gujjar, and Kayastha, Maratha. These are all Shudra. But they are Shudra Kshatriya, but Shudra. As for Varna Shudra Kshatriya means they were rulers, but not Aryan Kshatriyas. They were Shudra Kshatriyas, Dravidians. since they are Dravidian rulers, they are called Shudra Kshatriyas. So Shudras. So Ambedkar question to the 1921 census and to the British administration, untouchables were not part of Hindu system. So in 1928, before the Simon Commission, and 1931, in the Round Table Conference, he demanded separate electorates for the untouchables, same on the lines of religious minorities. Ambedkar argument is, throughout his life, Ambedkar argument is simple. Dalits are minority. Though Dalits are not having similar religion, there are Dalits who are practicing different belief system. They are not like having same religion, but they are minorities, social minorities. They must be treated like religious minorities, like Muslims, Christians, Jains, Sikhs. Same on that line, untouchables also should be treated as a minority. If not religious minority, they should be treated as a social minority. But they should be given same privileges, same rights, special separate electorates, same on the lines of separate electorates given to the Muslims. That was Ambedkar argument. He demanded in 1931 second round table conference separate electorates to them, because Ambedkar strongly believed that untouchables were never part of a Hindu system, Hindu Varna Vyavastha. Now, because Ambedkar demanded separate electorates means it's a political reservations, separate political reservations to Dalits. Remember, there is no religion. There is no religion is the basis for this. After 1921, British government complicated the religious identity. They treated untouchables as part of Hindu. But Ambedkar argument says that no, Dalits were not Hindus. Dalits were different from Hindu. Dalits, majority Dalits following their own local religions. They are following local god and goddesses. And some Dalits converted to Islam, some Dalits converted to Muslim, some Dalits converted to Sikh religion, some Dalits converted to Christianity, some Dalits converted to Jain. But Ambedkar argued for all the Dalits, irrespective of religion. Ambedkar talked about untouchables. Ambedkar never talked about Hindu untouchables. He was against the caste system and untouchability, which is born in the Hindu society. That's why he was talking about the caste and untouchability in the Hindu context. It doesn't mean he worked only for untouchables who want to profess Hinduism. No. For Ambedkar was building a separate Dalit worldview. So when Ambedkar questioned 1921 census, when Ambedkar demanded separate representation, political representation for Dalits before the 1928 Simon Commission and before the 1931 Second Roundtable Conference, Ambedkar asked only separate electorates for all Dalits, for all untouchables. He didn't divide the Dalits, untouchables based on religion. So 1932, British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald issued an award, communal award. It's called communal award. Communal award means, don't take it negatively. Communal award means political reservation based on communities, religion as well as social. So 1932 communal award gave political reservation to and benefits and all the governmental benefits to Christians, Muslims, same way Dalits also. So Dalits were, though they are not belong to one particular religion, they are regarded as a social minority. So religious minorities, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, same way social minorities included into this award. That's why it's called communal award. Had it been only religious minority, it would have been religious award. But it's a communal award because community-based representation. So Dalit as a community, here no religion basis, Dalit as a community. So 1932 gave political reservations and whatever the government benefits. So this is the foundation of reservations to the Dalits, which was the achievement by the Baba Sahib Ambedkar. But it was opposed by Mahatma Gandhi. It was opposed by Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi opposed this communal award and he sat for fast unto death. Fast unto death, note it. Mahatma Gandhi fought against British government and he sat for fasting on many occasions, but never he sat fast unto death. Fast unto death, he never sat. He never adopted the technique of fast unto death against any issue, not even against British people, not even for independence. He sat for fast, but not fast unto death. Fast unto death means he want to sit on the fasting till his die or resolve the issue. He sat fast unto death in the Erwada jail, in the Erwada prison in Pune, only against the reservations, separate electorates to Dalits. You know what was his argument? Only his argument was that if Dalits treated as a separate from Hindu, then Hindu will not be a majority. So to increase the Hindu majority, Mahatma Gandhi wanted Dalits to be a part of Hindu. So there was so much of pressure. Under pressure, Ambedkar accepted Pune Pact. But Ambedkar never satisfied with the Pune Pact. Now, next, 1935 Act, Government of India Act 1935. This very important act. This is a mini constitution. Akash, change the slide. 1935 Government of India Act is a mini constitution of India. This is the most important to write Dalit history. This 1935 Government of India Act came after 1932 Pune Pact. After 1932, Government of India, separate electorates, communal award. So this 1935 Government of India Act, it's more or less like a constitution of India during the British government. In this 1935 Act, for the first time, all untouchables were called scheduled castes. First time the term scheduled caste was introduced by the British government. It was the British government which coined the term scheduled caste, not by Ambedkar. Try to understand. The scheduled caste term was coined by British government by the 1935 Government of India Act. Ambedkar didn't coin the term scheduled caste. Why they are called scheduled caste? Because all untouchables were put scheduled. They prepared a schedule. Schedule means annexure. Scheduled, they prepared list of the untouchable caste and annexed to the 1935 Government of India Act. That's why they are called scheduled castes. And all scheduled castes got scheduled caste. All castes, untouchables, all Dalits whose castes are mentioned in the list of scheduled caste, Chamar, Mahars, all They got all benefits from the government, including the reservation, political reservations, social reservations, all kinds of reservation given to the all Dalits, all untouchables, whose castes are mentioned in the list of the scheduled castes under the 1935 Government of India Act. So religion was never an issue. Religion was never a question. Even Mahatma Gandhi felt later on that even Dalits, untouchables who converted to Christianity, they are facing the caste discrimination. Even Gandhi said, Gandhi wrote many times in his own Harijan journal. Now, the question is that because of this 1935 Government of India Act, reservations given to all scheduled castes, all Dalits, all Dalit communities, Dalit castes mentioned in the scheduled caste list. Till 1950, for 15 years, there was no question of religious discrimination to scheduled caste. There was no religious discrimination to Dalits for 15 years, till 1950. What happened in 1950? In 1950, Constitution of India came to existence. 1950, Baba Saheb Ambedkar submitted his draft constitution. Next slide. Baba Saheb Ambedkar submitted his draft constitution. In the draft constitution, Ambedkar adopted all benefits given to the Dalits under the 1935 Act. Whatever the benefits Dalits were getting, all untouchables were getting under the 1935 Act, political representation, all reservation given to all the Dalits, irrespective of religion, no religion bear, no religious basis, only caste based reservation that given in under the 1935 Act, extended in the draft constitution made by Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. But K.M. Munshi was a member of Constituent Assembly. K.M. Munshi, a Brahmin from Gujarat, he opposed continuation of reservations to scheduled caste. He wanted religious-based reservation to scheduled caste, not the caste-based reservation. He wanted religion-based reservation to scheduled caste. Unfortunately, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also supported K.M. Munshi. Both of them are from Gujarat. At that point of time, Ambedkar asked the Sikh leaders to demand for Dalits who were converted to Sikhism, Dalit Sikhs to get the reservation. Since K.M. Munshi and Sardar Patel, Vallabhbhai Patel, particularly it's a K.M. Munshi plan. 1950 scheduled caste order is a K.M. Munshi plan, unfortunately supported by the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So they went to the Babu Rajendra Prasad. He was a president of India that time. So because of the K.M. Munshi's insistence and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel support to that, Babu Rajendra Prasad, the president, issued an order that is called 1950 Scheduled Caste Order. That 1950 Scheduled Caste Order banned, means restricted scheduled caste reservation to only scheduled caste who are following Hinduism. So only for the first time, scheduled caste reservation became a religion-based reservation. In the 1950, Ambedkar opposed it. In the Ambedkar draft constitution, religion-based reservation to scheduled caste. So Ambedkar asked Sikh leaders to demand for scheduled caste reservation to Dalit Sikhs. So Sikh leader very forcefully demanded. Because of that, K.M. Munshi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel agreed to include only 4 Dalit castes under the scheduled caste reservation. Only 4 Dalit Sikh communities allowed to get scheduled caste reservation. Not all Sikh Dalit Sikhs. So Dalit Sikh leaders also unable to get reservation to all Dalit Sikhs. Then at that point, Ambedkar went to personally visited Christian leaders and urged them, Christian leaders, Ambedkar urged the Christian leaders to demand for reservation to Dalit scheduled caste, Dalit Christian scheduled caste. Ambedkar urged the Christian leaders. So the prominent Christian leader was at that time H.C. Mukherjee, Hirendra Kumar Mukherjee. He was a Bengali Brahmin, but converted Christian. Brahmins also converted to Christians. Many Brahmins converted to Christianity. Brahmins are in every religion. Brahmins converted to Christianity. Mr. Hirendra Mukherjee, who is a Bengali Brahmin, converted to Christian. He was a Christian leader. He was nominated to the Constituent Assembly as a representative of the Christians. Ambedkar approached him and urged him to demand in the Constituent Assembly reservation to Dalit Christians, scheduled caste Christians who are following Christianity. But Mr. H.C. Mukherjee refused Ambedkar's request. H.C. Mukherjee said, no, in Christianity there is no caste. Ambedkar told him, in Christianity there is no caste. In Sikhism also there is no caste. But in Indian society there is a caste. That's why Sikh leaders are demanding reservation for the Dalit Sikhs. Why don't you, Christian leader, demand reservation for the Dalit Christians who are the scheduled caste Christians? But H.C. Mukherjee refused. At least Sikh leaders demanded reservation for the Dalit Sikhs. Those Sikh leaders failed to get reservation for all the Dalit Sikh Christians. At least they got 4 Dalit Sikh Christians. The 4 Dalit Sikhs. But Dalit Sikh leaders failed to get reservation for all the Dalit Sikhs. In the case of Dalit Christians, very unfortunately, there was no Dalit Christian leader. Ambedkar was acting as a leader of Dalit Sikhs as well as Dalit Christians also. And that time there were no Dalit Buddhists because Ambedkar not converted to Buddhism in 1950. So Ambedkar was requesting Dalit Sikh people, Sikh leaders to work for Dalit Sikh and Christian leaders to work for the Dalit Christians. But unfortunately, H.C. Mukherjee, who happened to be a Brahmin from Bengal, he refused to work for the Dalit Christians. That's why there was no reservation given to Dalit Christians in 1950 order. So 1950 order dismantled the 1950 order created religion-based reservation only to scheduled caste. Next. Then why? What was the Ambedkar position? Why Ambedkar supported reservation to all Dalits, including Dalit Christians, including Dalit Sikhs? That time Ambedkar was not embraced Buddhism. So Ambedkar acting a leader of all Dalits. Those who Dalits are Hindus, those who Dalits are Christians, those who Dalits are Sikhs. Ambedkar never wanted religion-based reservation to scheduled caste. But 1950 order brought reservation, the religion-based reservation to scheduled caste. Why Ambedkar was opposing this religion-based reservation? Ambedkar was a law minister that time. Understand? That time Ambedkar, when this 1950 scheduled caste order was notified, Ambedkar was a law minister. Ambedkar notified it, but at the same time, principally he opposed it. But Ambedkar was not having that much of strength to demand, because K. Munshi, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, leaders like, they wanted 1950 scheduled caste reservation only to Hindu scheduled caste, only Hindu Dalits. They don't want to give reservation to Dalit Sikhs and Dalit Christians. There was no Dalit Buddhist category because Ambedkar was not converted to Buddhism at that point of time, 1950. So Ambedkar was demanding as a leader of Dalits. To all Dalits, he was demanding reservation. To all scheduled castes. Why? Why? Why is because Ambedkar believed that caste is a part of society. Though caste was born in Hindu society, Hindu religion, because of Hindu religion, because of Varna Vyavastha, because of Manusmriti, but caste has become a part of whole Indian society. Now look what Ambedkar said in 1945. What Congress and Gandhi have done to untouchables. Because K. Munshi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel were Gandhians. They were the Gandhians who opposed reservation to all scheduled castes, all Dalits. So what Ambedkar wrote, what Congress and Gandhi have done to untouchable in 1945. Just read it out. Can anybody read? Can anybody read it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please read.
Yes. Indian Christians, like their Hindus,
Brethren.
and divided into castes. The Christian converts have not been able to get rid of the curse of the caste.
See, listen. Indian Christians, like their Hindu brother, are divided into castes. It's not that once Dalits become Christian, when scheduled caste become a Christian, he cannot, become a different, equal to the Brahmin Christians, because caste division also there in the Christian society. Though Christian religion don't believe in the caste, though Sikh religion don't believe in the caste, though Buddhist religion don't believe in the caste, but society is a Indian society. In the Indian society, because Hindu is a dominant religion, Indian society caste is there. That's why Ambedkar said Indian Christians, like their Hindu brethren, are divided into castes. The Christian converts, means Dalit converts, even Brahmin convert like Mukherjee, is a Christian convert. Though he said that there is no caste in Christian religion, yes, there is no caste in Christian religion, but in Indian Christian society is a part of Indian society. So Indian Christian society, there is a caste, Brahmin Christian. Mukherjee was a Brahmin Christian. So Dalits has a caste. That's what Ambedkar said in 1945. Even before 1950 order came. Only in 1950 order, K. Munshi, a Gujarati Brahmin, brought the religion into the scheduled caste. But 1945, Ambedkar clearly said, the Christian converts, even Brahmin converts or Dalit converts, have not been able to get rid of the curse of the caste. Next Ambedkar said, let's look at the Baba Saheb Ambedkar volumes. Volume 5, Untouchables, where there is a chapter called Christianity and Untouchables, in which what Ambedkar said very clearly, this eye-opening statement by Ambedkar. Everybody must read. Someone could read?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Shashikant, read it out.
Yes, sir. Caste is not a matter of religion, it is a matter of social status. A Mahar who became a Christian is still regarded as a Mahar by society.
Caste is not a matter of religion. Caste is not a matter of religion. All people think that caste is only in the Hindu society. Yes, caste is only in Hindu religion. But caste is not only in Hindu society. Caste is in every society in India. Why? Because caste is a part of Indian society. Don't mistaken between religion and society. Generally, the students of caste history or sociology, students of sociology or anthropology or history, political science, they misunderstand society and religion. Religion is to do with your books, religious books like Veda, Upanishads, Aranyakas, Brahmanikas, epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So these are Hindu literature, religious literature. You find a caste in it, you find a Varna Vyavastha in it, Manusmriti. You find a Varna Vyavastha, caste in it, which you don't find in the Sikh religious literature, in Sikh and Buddhist religious literature, Christian religious literature like Bible, Muslim religious literature like Quran. You don't find caste in it. But Hindu religious literature, you'll find a caste. That's the only difference. But when it comes to society, Indian society, you'll find a caste. Indian Christian society, you will find a caste. Brahmin Christian, Dalit Christian. Hindu Sikh society, you will find a caste. Dalit Sikh, Jat Sikh. You will find a Hindu Buddhist society, you will find a caste. Dalit Buddhist, Brahmin Buddhist. You will find a caste in every society, every religious society within India. Caste is not there in Christian society in Europe, because in Europe there is no caste system. That's why in European Christian society there is no caste discrimination. There is no caste system in Europe. There is no caste system in America. That's why you don't find a caste in American Christians, but you will find a caste in Indian Christians, even if they go to America, because caste is an Indian phenomena. So here Ambedkar very clearly says, caste is not matter of a religion. So students of sociology, student of anthropology should clearly, students of social sciences should understand the difference between religion, caste in religious literature and caste in society. So Ambedkar clearly states, caste is not a matter of religion. Caste is a matter of social status. So every student of social sciences should understand that caste is a matter of, not a matter of religion, caste is a matter of social status. Because caste is a matter of social status, even if Mahar becomes a Christian, he remains to be a Mahar only. Even Mahar becomes a Buddhist, he remains to be a Mahar only. Even if Chamar becomes a Christian, he remains to be a Chamar Christian, Mahar Christian, Mahar Buddhist, Chamar Buddhist, Mahar Sikh, Chamar Sikh, Mahar Muslim, Chamar Muslim. This is what Ambedkar want to say. So Ambedkar was very clear. He wanted reservations for Mahar Christians also. He wanted reservations for Chamar Christians also, Chamar Buddhists also, Chamar Sikhs also, Mahar Sikhs also, Mahar Buddhists also. Because Ambedkar, no, he is going to convert to the Buddhism in future. That's why he started demanding reservation for all scheduled castes, all Dalits, all untouchables, not exclusively based on some Hindus. Because he wanted to embrace Buddhism, he wanted to convert Buddhism to later stage. Though there were no Dalit Buddhists at that point of time in 1950. Ambedkar was very clear about his mission. He wanted to come out of the Hindu religion. If he can't fight for all Dalits, reservation to all Dalits, so he can't. When he would convert to the Buddhism, it was difficult for him to get reservation for the Dalit Buddhists, for Mahar Buddhists, for Chamar Buddhists. That's why he was demanding at that time itself, asking the Sikh leaders and Christian leaders to demand reservation for the scheduled caste converts, Dalit converts. The next, see, his another argument. Look at the Dalit Christians in Kerala. Majority Christians you find in Kerala only in India. Like majority Muslims you find in Kashmir. Same way majority Christians you find in Kerala. Kerala, there were Pulaya Christians. These Pulaya Christians are Dalit Christians. And Syrian Christians, they are the Brahmin Christians. So don't mistake. Every Kerala Christian is not a Christian. He either Brahmin Christian or Pulaya Christian. Pulaya Christians are scheduled caste Christians. But they lost the reservation because of 1950 order. So Ambedkar arguing that time itself. Ambedkar arguing not to have any religion-based reservation to scheduled caste because Pulaya Christians were badly treated by the Syrian Christians. Pulaya Christians having different church, different burial grounds. They were treated as untouchables by the Syrian Christians. Not only by the Syrian Christians, by the Hindu Brahmins. So Christian Brahmins who are Syrian Christians and Hindu Brahmins and all dominant Hindu communities, treating the Pulayas as untouchables only. They were not allowed to wear the woman was not allowed to wear the blouse. Women were not allowed to wear the sari to close the breast. These Pulaya Christians. So that's why Ambedkar was demanding reservation for Pulaya Christians. But unfortunately, K. Munshi didn't agree to the Ambedkar demand. Now, in the Annihilation of Caste, that today's topic is Christian reservation, Dalit Christian reservation and Annihilation of Caste. What Ambedkar said, very, very, very seriously you have to understand this statement. Anybody could read it? Please read, anyone.
Yes, sir.
Any women participant is there? Any woman participant is there? Any woman participant is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please read it.
Caste is not a physical object like a wall of bricks or a line of barbed wire, which prevent the Hindus from commingling, and which has therefore to be pulled down. Caste is a notion. It is a state of mind.
Caste is a notion. It is a state of mind. Caste is not a wire. You can pull it. Caste is not a wall. You can break it. Caste is a notion. Caste is a belief. Like that you are believing God. Like that you are believing the caste. It is not visible. God is not visible. Caste also not visible. Only effect of the caste you can find. Only effect of the God you can find. Like an air. Air is not visible. But effect of the air you can find. You can feel the air. Cool breeze you can find. Hot air you can, cool breeze you can feel it. Hot breeze you can feel it. Like that, caste, you can feel it. Because it's a notion. It's not an object. It's not a material. You can remove it. That's why Ambedkar said, just because of a scheduled caste, a Mahar or Chamar becomes a Sikh, caste cannot disappear. If Mahar Chamar become a Christian, caste cannot disappear. If Mahar Chamar become a Buddhist, caste cannot disappear. No religion can annihilate the caste. No religion can destroy the caste because caste is a notion. It's a state of mind. Next. Now the question is that you may ask that, sir, then why this Dalits and why the Dalits became a Muslims, Christians, Sikhs? Because 1950 order, K. Munshi plan in the 1950 order Reservation is scheduled caste reservation given to only Hindus. Only Hindu scheduled caste. It was not given to Sikh Dalit Sikhs, not given to Dalit Muslims, not given to Dalit Christians. Of course, there were no Dalit Buddhists at that point of time, 1950. Even if they were there, so Dalit Buddhists also can't get a reservation in 1950 order. Why? Why these people converted to Christian religion, Muslim religion, Islam? Why they converted to Sikh religion? People converted to Sikh religion when the Sikhism was started, founded by the Guru Nanak in India. Ranjit Singh established the rule of the Sikh in Punjab. Untouchables converted to Sikh religion to get away from the caste atrocities committed by the dominant Hindu communities. They became Sikh in Punjab. They were not knowing that one day 1950 order will come. KM Munshi will make them not to have any benefits. They were not knowing because it happened in the middle period. When they became Sikh, when they adopted Sikh religion, Dalit became Sikh Dalits during the Guru Nanak time. Same is the case with the Dalit Muslims. Dalits became Muslim and embraced Islam during the Sultan Mughal period. Same way Dalit became Christians during the British period before the independence. When these people were treated as untouchables, thrown out of the villages, they were not even having basic rights, not even having food to eat. They were not even treated as human beings. Christian missionaries visited untouchable localities, gave them love and affection, gave them education, gave them health. When untouchables were not allowed to enter the Hindu villages, Hindu temples, Christians missionaries gave them churches. Not only Christian missionaries allowed untouchables to enter into the church, they made them as a head of the church. At one hand, Hindu temples were not allowed them entry. Here in Christian church, they not only enter into the church, they become the head of the church. They become the priests, pastors. Because they have to read the Bible, they became educated. They got good education, good health. So all these things, conversions to Christianity happened during British period before the independence. Conversion to Islam happened during the Mughal Sultan period before the independence, before even British came to India. Conversion to Sikhism happened at the time of Ranjit Singh, who was the Sikh ruler ruling the Punjab. At the time of Guru Nanak. So how do you deny reservation to these people? Why are you punishing scheduled caste people who embrace different religions in the history? Not at the time of 1950. In the history. Just because of their history, Dalit history is religious conversion is a part of Dalit history. We can't deny the historical fact. So 1950 order is a historical injustice. That's why Ambedkar was fighting for the reservations of all scheduled castes, all Dalits, all untouchables, irrespective of religion. Now, next. Now look at the 1950 order. How this 1950 order violates Article 15, 16, 25 and 26. This 1950 order, scheduled caste order, is called Constitution Order. Constitution Scheduled Caste Order. Paragraph 3, in that order, paragraph 3 says that no person who professes a religion different from the Hindu religion shall be deemed to be a member of scheduled caste. Could anybody read it? This 1950 scheduled caste order? Anybody? Akash?
Yes, sir.
Don't read the bracket. Don't read the bracket because bracket was added later on. Original order. You read the original order, paragraph 3. That order, paragraph 3 says that. Read.
Issued under Article 341 of the Constitution. 341. Same social contest. President power.
Okay. You are reading differently. I think this is a. Is it the next slide? What? Go to next slide. No. Now, yeah. Fine. You come back to that slide. Yes. Go to that slide. Who were Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims? Yes. Yeah. Who were Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims? No. Yeah. Converted. Who were Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims? Converted Christians and converted Muslims even before independence of India. Dalit Muslims, they converted between 7th century to 12th century during Sultans and Dalit Christians 17th century to 20th century during British rule. Christians ministries gave education and health. Majority of Dalit Christians, particularly in South India, they are Chamars, South Indian Chamars, Madigas, and majority of Dalit Christians in Maharashtra are Mahars. Most of them are Mahars, not Chambars, not Matangs. Most of them are Mahars. And most of the Dalit Christians in South India are Chamars. That is why Ambedkar was fighting for the reservation for Dalit Christians. And most of the Dalit Sikhs were naturally Chamars. So that's why Ambedkar was fighting. Next is, when Dalit converted to Islam and Christianity, that's even before. When Dalits converted to Islam and Christianity and Sikhism before independence, why today they were punished in 1950? And Dalit Sikh till 1956, Dalit Sikhs were not having scheduled caste reservation. Till 1990, Dalit Buddhists were not having scheduled caste reservations. When Constitution of India doesn't provide religion-based reservation, why reservation is based, why SC reservation based on religion? These are the questions raised by the Dalit leaders, including by Ambedkar. Next. Look at the 1950 Constitution Scheduled Caste Order, issued under Article 341 of the Constitution. 341 order, that is SC Scheduled Caste list, and 342 order, Article 342 Scheduled Tribe list. There is no difference between 341 and 342. Both are same. Only difference is context is same. Article 341 and Article 342 is based on the same social context. The only difference is Article 341 you have a scheduled caste list. Article 342 you have a scheduled tribe list. But all scheduled tribe got reservation. But only Hindu scheduled tribe got reservation 341. Why it is so? 341, 342 consist of only scheduled caste lists. 1950 order, but in the scheduled caste list, in the 341, the 342, Article 341, 342, power is given to President of India to delete or to include or to exclude caste in that list. So don't understand that. Don't think that your scheduled castes who are included in the 341 list, scheduled caste list, are permanent. No. Chamar can be today scheduled caste. Tomorrow Chamar cannot be a scheduled caste. Today Mahars can be a scheduled caste. Tomorrow Mahars can be a no scheduled caste. So scheduled caste is a category created by the government of India in 1935 Act. It is continued in the Constitution of India under Article 341. So this is not a permanent, because under the 341 under 341 article, President of India got a power to include anyone, any caste under scheduled caste list, or to remove any caste from the scheduled caste list. But this power used by Babu, what's that president name? I said?
Rajendra Prasad.
Yes, Babu Rajendra Prasad. On the advice of K. Munshi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, issued an order in 1950. That order is called Constitution Scheduled Caste Order. That order gives reservation only to scheduled castes who are following Hindu religion. This is against the 341 order, 341 the article, because in the 341 article in the Constitution, nowhere mentioned that only Hindu scheduled caste should be given the reservation. Nowhere mentioned. Nowhere. Not only in the 341 article, in any article in the Constitution of India, nowhere mentioned that scheduled caste should be given reservation based on Hindu religion. Nowhere mentioned. So this presidential order stating that only Hindu scheduled caste should get a reservation, scheduled caste reservation, is against the 341 article, is against the Constitution of India. Constitution of India, Article 341, gives power to President only to include or exclude castes in the scheduled caste list. President of India can include any caste as a scheduled caste. President of India can exclude any caste from the scheduled caste list. This is the only power given. But 341 article never gave the power to President of India to state that only scheduled castes who are following Hindus should be treated as a scheduled caste. No, that power is not given. But however, unfortunately, 1950 scheduled caste order was given by the President of India, Babu Rajendra Prasad. And remember, this was not approved by the Parliament. This was not the religion-based reservation to scheduled caste, not approved by the Parliament. Parliament not passed any law supporting this particular paragraph 3. Even today, till today, Parliament never discussed para 3. Never discussed. Many times this 1950 order went to the Parliament to include some castes in the scheduled caste. There are some scheduled castes are in Uttar Pradesh also. Some scheduled castes included in the some castes are included in the list of scheduled castes. Then this 1950 order. Then what happened? There was a discussion in the on the Article 341. Article 341 consists of the scheduled caste list. There was a discussion on the Article 341, and they included some castes in the scheduled caste. But never there was a discussion about 1950 scheduled caste order on the clause on the paragraph 3 that gives reservation only to Hindus. Later in 1956, Sikhism was added to that order. And in 1990, Ambedkar died. When Ambedkar became a Buddhist in 1956, Ambedkar was not a scheduled caste according to 1950 order. Because 1950 order states that only scheduled caste Hindus are scheduled caste. On 1956, it said that only scheduled caste Hindus and scheduled caste Sikh or scheduled caste. So when Ambedkar became a Buddhist in 1956, Ambedkar lost the scheduled caste status. Ambedkar was not after converting to Buddhism in 1956. See how I don't know how to I don't have word to put it. Ambedkar, who fought for the reservation for scheduled caste, became non-scheduled caste in 1956 because he embraced Buddhism, because he got converted into Buddhism. Ambedkar himself became not a scheduled caste. Ambedkar was a Mahar who is following the Buddhism. Even though he was a Mahar, even though he was his caste was mentioned, his caste is mentioned in the scheduled caste list. Even then, Ambedkar became not a scheduled caste. Ambedkar lost his scheduled caste status in 1956, October 14, when he became a Buddhist. Not only Ambedkar lost scheduled caste status, whoever embraced, all Mahars who converted into Buddhism along with Ambedkar became no scheduled caste. They were Mahars, but they were following Buddhism. Because of that, they became no scheduled caste on 14th October 1956 when Ambedkar embraced Buddhism. Then people asked Ambedkar, after that Ambedkar about to organize conversion meeting in the month of November. No, sorry, in the month of December at Chandrapur, I think, and Hinganghat, many places. He died on 6th December. So before his death, when he embraced Buddhism, people asked Ambedkar, now we are not a scheduled caste. Though we are Mahars, we embraced Buddhism. We are not a scheduled caste. According to 1950 order, we don't have scheduled caste reservation. What to do? Then Ambedkar told, don't worry, I gave the reservations. Now today, I ask you people to become a Buddhist. Don't bother about reservations. Now because of me, you have lost the reservations. I will bring again reservations to you. Not to worry. That was the promise Ambedkar made to the Mahar Buddhists at that time. But unfortunately, Ambedkar died on 6th December 1956 without realizing, without bringing the reservations to Mahar Buddhists or Dalit Buddhists. So Dalit Buddhists lost, Dalits who converted to Buddhism lost the scheduled caste status till 1990. Almost 36 years. 36 years. Dalit Buddhists were not having scheduled caste status. Not having scheduled caste reservation. 36 years. 1990, under the VP Singh government, Janata Dal government, Ram Vilas Paswan, a Dalit Buddhist, a Mahar Buddhist, from Paswan Buddhist, from Bihar, a Dalit Buddhist, he demanded a reservation to Dalit Buddhists. Then under the VP Singh government, Buddhism was added to the 1950 scheduled caste order. That time, as a JNU student, I was invited to the Prime Minister house, Prime Minister Bangala. VP Singh was that time Prime Minister. I visited along with many people. Mr. Chandraban Prasad was also with us. It was he who led a team. So we that time, the JNU students, JNU Dalit students, Chandraban Prasad was leading us. He was our leader that time. We asked the Prime Minister VP Singh, why can't you give reservation to all Dalits? That was the Ambedkar's demand. Why were giving only to why were included only Buddhists now? Include the Christians, include the Muslims, all Dalits. Then Prime Minister Vishwanath Pradhan Singh told us, if you press car accelerator with the forcefully, then car goes so speed that you may face the accident. Same is the case if it is given to Christians. Immediately the right-wing people oppose it. In that even Dalit Buddhists might not get the reservation. So it is better for time being we give only to the Dalit Buddhists. In future, we could extend to the Dalit Christians. That's what Vishwanath Pratap Singh, then Prime Minister, told. And Ramlas Paswan was standing with him that time. So we were having a discussion with Ramlas Paswan ji as well as Vishwanath Pratap Singh ji. That time Ramlas Paswan was Social Welfare Minister. Vishwanath Pratap Singh was Prime Minister. So we visited Prime Minister resident that time. So they told us like this. So we accepted that and we celebrated the reservation given to Dalit Buddhists. Since then, at least Dalits got reservation after converting Buddhism. At least Ambedkar converted religion Buddhism could spread among the Dalits. Ambedkar mission, at least Dalit Buddhist mission could spread. The question is that today Christians are not converted, Dalits are not converting to Christianity. Today Dalits are not converting to Sikhism. Today Dalits are not converting to Islam. Already they converted before independence. But punishment is given today by not giving them reservations. Very unfortunately, Ambedkar himself became non-scheduled caste after converting to Buddhism. If today Ambedkar alive, till 1990 Ambedkar alive, Ambedkar would have been not having a scheduled caste status for 36 years. Ambedkar would have been living not as a scheduled caste person till 1990. Had Ambedkar alive, had Ambedkar lived. So how it's against the constitution. It's a historical injustice. 1950 scheduled caste order is a historical injustice. Next. Now, how this order is against the Constitution of India? Let us look at that aspect. At the end, we discuss that how this order is against the Constitution of India. This order very clearly says that no person who professes a religion different from the Hindu, the Sikh or Buddhist religion shall be deemed to be a member of scheduled caste. Now, how this order is against the Constitution of India? It violates Article 15, 16, 25, 26. Article 15 says, Article 15 prohibits discrimination against citizens. Can anybody read Article 15? Akash, read Article 15.
State cannot discriminate against any citizen based on religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth.
Yeah. It's a very clear. Article 15 very clearly states that you cannot violate, state cannot discriminate. Means government cannot discriminate any citizen. And Dalits are citizens of India. Why there is a discrimination on Dalits? 1950 order says only Dalits who are practicing Hinduism can get a scheduled caste status. That's a discrimination. It's a violation of the Article 15. Next, Article 16. Anybody can read? Article 16, Shashikant.
Yes, sir. Equality of
Article 16, Article 16.2. Both read. 16,
Yes,
16.2.
Yeah. Equality of opportunity for all of citizens. Article 16(2) prohibits discrimination solely on grounds of religion, race, caste.
Yeah. So again, it's very clear. Dalits are citizens of India. They cannot be discriminated based on the religion. The 1950 order, it discriminates Dalits. It says that Dalits, if you become a Sikh, you don't get the reservation. If you become a Buddhist, you don't get the reservation. Now it's saying that if you become a Christian or Muslim, you don't get the reservation. Why this history of the 1950 order? History of the 1950 order, SC order, it clearly violating Constitution of India. Now, Article 25, anybody can read? Anybody can read? Suhas is there? Suhas, Smita, Darshana, anybody there? No. Kiran, Dr. Kiran, could you read Article 25? This is the most important. Article 25 is the most important. Read out Article 25 and 26.
Article 25, right to freedom of religion, and Article 26, right to freedom to manage religious affairs.
Now you see, right to freedom of religion. Everybody has the right. Brahmin can convert to Christian. Brahmin Christian can get EWS reservation. But Dalit Christian cannot get scheduled caste reservation. Why? Backward caste Christian can get backward OBC reservation. But Dalit Christian cannot get the OBC reservation. Dalit Christian cannot get the scheduled caste reservation. Why? Scheduled tribe can Adivasi Christian can get the scheduled tribe reservation. But Dalit Christian cannot get the scheduled caste reservation. Why? Why? Because 1950 order violates Article 25. There is no right to freedom of religion to scheduled caste. Dalits. Right to freedom of religion is there for Brahmins. Because Brahmin Christian if Brahmin becomes a Christian, if Brahmin converted to Christianity, he will get EWS reservation. If Yadav becomes a Christian, Yadav Christian can get OBC reservation. Kurmi Christian can get OBC reservation. Reddy Christian, Kamma Christian, Kapu Christian, Patel Christian, Kayastha Christian, Jat Christian, all then get EWS reservation, OBC reservation. Gond Christian get tribal reservation, ST reservation. But Dalits, if they convert to Christian or Islam, they don't get. Why? Why there is no right to freedom of religion to the Dalits? 1950 order is a violation of Article 25, Article 26, Article 15, 16, 25, 26, all. Even 1950 order, it violates 341 article, under which it is made. 341 article never gave the power to the president to create a religion-based reservation. It only gave the president of India to include the caste and exclude the caste. Here, Chamar caste is not excluded from the SC list. Mahar caste is not excluded from the SC list. But Mahar Chamar, Mahar Christian, Chamar Christian don't get the reservation. Why? President has a power to include Mahar's caste or exclude a caste, Mahar caste, or to include the Chamar caste or to exclude the Chamar caste from the list of scheduled caste. That power only the President of India has under 341. But President of India has no power to tell that Chamar, who is already in scheduled caste list, but if he profess the Christianity, we don't give, he has no power. If he profess the Buddhism, we don't give, no power. From 1956 till 1990 was also violation of 341. And Article 25 and all these articles which I am talking. So same mistake is continuing even today by not giving reservation to Christians and Muslims who belong to Dalit community. So this is what total about this thing. Now last one there is a what I'm trying to say that Ambedkar was very clear about that this Dalit issue is a Dalit issue. It's not the Dalit Christian issue, Dalit Buddhist issue, Dalit Sikh issue, or Dalit Hindu issue. Dalit issue is a Dalit issue because caste is a reality. There are some people who are even Dalits. They say that no, Dalit Christian should not be given reservation. They say, why they say like that? Because they are looking at the Dalit Christian issue from Dalit Hindu perspective. Dalit Hindu perspective, or Dalit Buddhist perspective. They are not looking at the Dalit Christian issue as, they are not looking at the Dalit perspective. Ambedkar lives in the Dalit perspective. Ambedkar doesn't live in the any religion perspective. If you want to be a true Ambedkarite, if you want to really adopt Ambedkar perspective, you have to look Dalit issue not from the Buddhist perspective, not from the Sikh perspective, not from the Hindu perspective. You have to look only and only from Dalit perspective. That perspective is the only Ambedkar's perspective. If you are looking the Dalit issue, because Dalit Christian issue is a Dalit issue, and if you are looking that issue from Dalit Buddhist perspective, then you draw wrong conclusion. If you are looking at from Dalit Hindu perspective, then you are drawing a wrong conclusion. Dalit history is a Dalit history, not a Dalit Buddhist history, not a Dalit Christian history, not a Dalit Hindu history. Dalit Buddhist, Dalit Christian, Dalit Hindu, all are part of Dalit history. And Dalit Christian issue is a Dalit history issue. Dalit is not giving caste-based reservation to Dalits, giving only religion-based reservation to Dalits is a historical injustice. It's a injustice to all Dalit history. So this is what I look at this issue from Dalit perspective, Ambedkar perspective. Thank you very much. Any questions are invited.
Thank you, sir, for delivering very wonderful lecture. And today, Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge celebrated basically the Dalit History Month, which started on 1st of April. This is the first lecture that Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge also having in this month. And this is the very important lecture which Professor Karunyakara sir delivered on such occasion. And it's really important for all of us to understand what is the Dalit culture and Dalit history. So thank you, Professor Karunyakara sir. So now this forum is open for question answer session. So I'm already seeing Shashikant Sambodhi has raised his hand. So please, Shashikant Sambodhi, go ahead. Ask your question.
Sir, I have a very not a real question, hypothetical question. If somebody Dalit long ago converted to Christian or Islam long ago, and now at this time he again comes to the Hindu fold, try to get into the Hindu fold, this fold, that Dalit will get reservation or not? Because sir, like that Madhika Chamar and Mahar, Mala, they still known as Mala Christian, Mala
I got your question. See, that is the funniest part of this 1950 order. 1950 order, it's like it's like India border. If you go from India to Nepal, you become a Nepali. How can you become a Nepali? You are Indian, you are going to Nepal. When you come back to India, you are Indian. It's not like that. Even in Nepal also, you are Indian only. Indian, even if you go to Nepal, you are Indian. Indian or not? Tell me. You are Indian origin or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir. I'm absolutely Indian origin.
But 1950 order, very fun. Very fun. If Chamar or Mahar become a Christian, he will be not a scheduled caste. And that's what happened with Ambedkar. In 1956, Ambedkar was not a scheduled caste. In 1990, again Ambedkar came back to scheduled caste. Ambedkar became a scheduled caste in 1990, but Ambedkar was not a scheduled caste in 1956. Ambedkar was a scheduled caste in 1950 because Ambedkar was regarded as Ambedkar is following Hinduism. According to 1950 order, Ambedkar following Hinduism. That's what meaning. Ambedkar never said he was following Hinduism. That's what meaning. See, when 1950 order says that only Dalits who are professing scheduled caste, means scheduled caste who are professing scheduled Hinduism are scheduled caste. Scheduled caste who are professing other religions are not scheduled caste. That's what the meaning of the 1950 order. 1956, Ambedkar embraced Buddhism. So Ambedkar was not scheduled caste. And 1990, Ambedkar became part of the 1950 order. So suddenly Ambedkar became again scheduled caste. 1990, Ambedkar became a scheduled caste again. Means what I'm trying to say that a Mahar, for example, Akash. Akash is a Mahar. Suppose Akash was, at that time Akash was a big man. So Akash became along with Ambedkar, Akash became a Buddhist. So Ambedkar became no scheduled caste, Akash also became no scheduled caste. They lost the scheduled caste category. But they are Mahar. But 1990, again Akash got back scheduled caste category status. Ambedkar also got scheduled caste category status because Buddhism was added to the 1950 order. If today Christianity is Christian religion and Muslim religion, if Christian religion is added to the 1950 order, suddenly all Chamar Mahar Christians become scheduled caste. Why? Why? Because their caste is already there in the scheduled caste list. Mahar caste is already there in the scheduled caste list. Chamar caste is already in the scheduled caste. So if today, if anyone become Christian, he will be no more scheduled caste. If he comes back, again he will become a scheduled caste. How funny it is, see? Means like a border, Nepal border, India-Nepal border. If you go to Nepal, you will become a Nepali. You are no more Indian. How it possible? There are many Indians in America. They are coming and voting also in India. Just because of crossing the border, can you lose the status of the Indian origin? If today, tomorrow, if you go to America, you will become American only. You are Indian basically. Your basic identity is Indian. Am I right or not? You will be, at the most, you will be called American Indian. But you will carry Indian identity or not? Same way, when you become a Christian or a Buddhist or anyone, you are Mahar, you are Chamar, you are Dalit. So when you come back from America to India, again you are in, that's what 1950 order says. No, if you leave the Christianity, if you leave the Buddhism, if you leave the Sikhism, you are a scheduled caste. That's what 1950 order originally says. It's very funny. See, many funny things happen just because of majority people want it. We believe that if law is there, law will take care of its own course. No. Law will not take care of its own course. We have to make the law to take its own course. We have to make the law to take its course. Law will not take care of its own course. No. If law can take its own course, then why the Supreme Court? Why the judiciary? Judiciary is there. Supreme Court, High Courts are there. Because law can't take its own course. We have to make the law to take its course. But even though law is there, nobody cares about 1950 order. And today, Dalit Buddhists are not interested to fight for the Dalit Christians because they are not victims. But 1950, in the 1956, when Ambedkar embraced Buddhism, since then Dalit Buddhists were standing with the Dalit Christians, fighting for the reservation for the Dalits. Till 1956, Dalit Sikhs were also standing with the Dalit Buddhists and Dalit Christians. Now we are divided based on the religion. Our problem is caste, but we are divided based on religion. Who divided? Who divided? Thanks to K. Munshi, who is a Gujarati Brahmin, 1950 order divided us. And educated people also opposing reservation to Dalit Christians. Taking the Ambedkar name, misinterpreting Ambedkar. See, order itself is very funny. Same Mahar, same Chamar. When they became a Buddhist, they were not scheduled caste. When they came back to Hindu, they were scheduled caste. Now whole Buddhism came back to order, is 95th order. That's why they got the scheduled caste order. Same is the case today. If Chamar Mahar came back to Hindu or Buddhist or Sikh, scheduled caste they will get. And one person, you may ask that, sir, then what is the need to become a Christian when they are facing the same problem in Christianity? But they became a Christian not today. They became a Christian before independence. When they were getting benefits under the British period. That's what I'm telling you, no? 1935 order gave all benefits, all reservation to all Dalits. It didn't bother about whether Dalit was a Hindu, Muslim, Christian. Don't bother, didn't bother. All Dalits got. That's what Ambedkar was arguing since 1921 census. So, it's not the question who should become which religion. It's how absurd a Ambedkarite, a Buddhist who himself was a victim till 1990, today arguing that who asked him to go to Christianity, he should become a Buddhist. Freedom of religion, you also don't want to give them. At one hand, you are exercising freedom of religion provided by the Constitution, Article 25, and you are arguing that why he became a Christian. What does it mean? What do you mean? You are arguing against the freedom of religion. You are arguing against the Ambedkar spirit. You are arguing against the Constitution of India. You are joining the same forces who denied you freedom of religion till 1990. Whether that person have to become a Buddhist or Christian, leave to him. You go on to propagate Buddhism among the Christians. If they are convinced, they will embrace. That's a different issue. But you can't say that they should not become a Christian, which they adopted, they became a Christian before independence, under different circumstances. When Christian missionaries were giving them everything, that time they embraced. And today 1915 order is not giving them. That's what their fight. Their fight is not today's. Their fight is very much violation of the historical justice which given under the British. But 1915 order not giving. And look at that 1915 order history. It violated, it made even Dalit Sikh victims. It made even Dalit Buddhist victims even when Ambedkar was alive. So the issue is not today's issue. Today to give the reservation to any Christian, Dalit or not. That's not the issue. You look at the issue, the whole issue in the historical perspective. And Ambedkar Dalit have to be a constitutionalist, liberal and democrat. We cannot become a narrow-minded, illiberal, and we can't take a position just because of today we are not a victim. A small segment in South India, they are the victims, Dalit Christians. We can't look at very parochial way or narrow-minded. We can't look at the issue. Very unfortunately, some people are looking at the issue in very narrow-minded way, illogically, illiberal, undemocratic way, violating all the constitution safeguards. So that's what I could say. How it's a funny. You asked the right question. It's very funny. If you cross the border, if you go to America, how can Indian become suddenly American? He's Indian. He looks like an Indian. He behaves like an Indian. He's Indian only. Same way. Even if a Brahmin goes to America, he's a Brahmin. If Mahar goes to America, he's a Dalit. If Chamar goes to America, he's a Dalit. No religion can destroy the caste. No ideology can destroy the caste. Annihilation of caste is not possible as long as caste remains as a culture. If you want to annihilate the caste by conversion to any religion, look at the Buddhists. Now the question is the Buddhism. Buddhism is a one person asked me once, Christianity is a Christian religion profess equality. Since Christian religion profess equality, there should not be there should not be reservations. There is no caste in Christianity. If that is the case, Sikhism also profess the equality. Buddhism also profess the equality. Then why there is a caste-based reservation for the Dalit Buddhists? Why there is a caste-based reservation for the Dalit Sikhs? See, when you talk logically, rationally, legally, historically, and socially also, fact is that caste is everywhere. Whichever side you turn, there is a caste virus, Ambedkar said. By knowing all these things, our own people, oppose the reservation to Dalit Christians, Dalit Muslims. How narrow, how illiberal. You have traveled along with the Dalit Christians, you have fought for reservations along with the Dalit Christians till 1990. When you got reservation, you are dumping the Dalit Christians. Is this a really Ambedkarite way of activity? Is this the really Ambedkar way of thinking? So morally we stand nowhere if we become parochial and illiberal. Forget about it. I don't think Dalit Christians are going to get reservations in near future. I don't think. Why? Because Dalit phobia is the main reason why that 1950 order came. 1950 originally the order says that only Dalit Hindus get reservation. Why it is so? Because Dalit phobia. Dalit should not have non-Hindu way of life. That's the main. Thanks to Sikh leaders, they constantly fought and they got it, Dalit Sikh. Thanks to Buddhist leaders, Dalit Buddhists, they constantly they got it. But the Dalit Christians have no leadership. Dalit Christians have no leadership at that time also, 1950. That time Brahmin leader was, Brahmin Christian was the Dalit, Brahmin Christian was the leader. Even today also, Brahmin Christians only leaders of the Christians. Even today also, Dalit Christians have no leader in the Christian community. So I don't think, Dalit Christians are going to get reservation. That's a different issue. The issue is that where we are standing, whether Dalit Christians are really going to get or not. To my understanding, they are never going to get. They are never going to get. But that's not the issue. I don't have any hope that they are going to get. In near future, at least in near future, Dalit Christians are never going to get. That my issue is not that. My issue is that our own Ambedkarites, our own people, where they are standing, is a moral degradation if we don't support this issue. I am not part of those people who are morally degraded. Constitutionally, anti-constitutional stand they are taking. I am not part of them. I stand with whole Dalit community, irrespective of the religion, irrespective of the caste. I never looked up to any Dalit guy in my life from my own caste as perspective. No. There are many Dalits I could see. A Mala Dalit loves only Mala. A Madiga Dalit loves only Madiga. A Chamar Dalit loves only Chamar. A Mahar Dalit loves only Mahar. They are not real Dalits. They are castes. I love Dalit. I don't care that Dalit belongs to which caste. I love Dalit. I don't care that Dalit belongs to which religion. I love Dalit. I don't care that Dalit belongs to which state, which language he speaks. I don't care whether Dalit speak Hindi or Tamil or Telugu or Gujarati. I don't care. For me, Dalit is important because my mission is Ambedkar mission, and Ambedkar mission is to reconstruct Dalit society, universal Dalit society. And only universal Dalit culture will take us away from the caste. Annihilation of caste is possible only through the universal Dalit culture. Not by converting to any religion. Whether you convert to any religion or not, doesn't matter. Even today, Dalit Buddhists, they went to Buddhism to get rid of the caste. But Dalit Buddhists are getting caste reservation. That's it. All India scheduled caste list, the 341 scheduled caste list, there is no now about the caste. There is only Mahar caste, Chamar caste. Chamar, Mahar will get, Chamar Buddhist, Mahar Buddhist. Dalit Buddhists will get scheduled caste reservation only with Mahar certificate, Chamar certificate in the central government. So my dear friends, don't get confused. Matter is very, very intellectual, scholarly matter. We have to take very intellectually scholarly position. Not like an activist would have half knowledge. It's not be like that. Any other question, please? I have given, holistic answers. If any specific questions are there, please ask. We will complete it within 5 minutes. Any question?
Dr. Bhupati, you were saying something before the lecture. Do you want to ask a question?
No. Actually, sir, professor have given very detailed explanation on this Dalit Christians issue. Actually, very first time I am hearing this lecture, and not first time on this Dalit history and Dalit Christians issues. I'm very thankful to you, sir, because I got very great insights, like you are mentioning that historically, politically, socially, and how the religion have played a role and all. I thank, sir. Now I have one insight out of your lecture, sir.
Could you open your video? Could you open your video?
Okay, sir. Okay. Actually, I am traveling, sir. That's why. Sir, one more. Actually, I am requesting this forum to conduct one more session on this another one particular issue, sir. Subclassification or internal reservation within Dalits for also become one major issue, sir, nowadays. We need
my dear friend. Yeah, I got it. My dear friend, we can have, not a problem. It's not an issue. Subclassification issue also is a whole Dalit issue. It's not an issue of only Madiga. It's not an issue of only Madiga or Mala. It's an issue of everyone, all Dalits, right? So, but for your kind information, I tell you, till yesterday, Mala Madigas were fighting in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh for the subclassification. Now they achieved that subclassification, they celebrated like anything. Particularly Madigas were demanding subclassification. Madigas are demanding separate reservation from Malas. Now all over India subclassification going to be implemented. Now, very interestingly, once the Supreme Court judgment came against the Dalit Christians, and I tell you, majority of Dalit Christians in South India, Chamars, means Madigas. Now, Madigas' problem is that till yesterday they were fighting for the Madiga reservation. When they were about to eat, now Supreme Court order reaffirmed. Actually, Supreme Court order is it's not that any new thing it said. It is there already in 1950. It's reaffirmed it. So now about to eat that the food of reservation by the Madigas, suddenly it is said that Madiga Christians can't have it. Now again Madiga Christians have to fight because majority of Madigas are Christians in comparison to Malas.
Yes,
and majority Christians are Mahars. In Maharashtra, majority Christians are Mahars. That's why Ambedkar said very clearly, even if Mahar becomes, 1945 Ambedkar said, even if Mahar becomes a Christian, he remains to be a Christian. So we have to look at the issue at the society level, not at the religion level. Roots of the caste, yes, it's in the Hindu religion, Manusmriti, we could see. But the operation of the caste, it's in the society level. So caste is not a religion, it's a social status, it's a notion. That's what Ambedkar said. So we will have it, not have an issue. Any other things?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, wind up, Akash.
Okay. With the permission of the chair, we are going to enter in our last part of our lecture. So that is vote of thanks. So I request Shashikant Sambodhi to please give official vote of thanks for today's lecture. Shashikant Sambodhi. Shashikant Sambodhi is not here. So I'm going to take the pleasure to vote of thanks. So today, Professor Karunyakara sir deliver Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge 43rd of lecture. So I thank Professor Karunyakara sir for giving such a wonderful lecture to all of us and keeping all Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge engaged with the academic churning. So I really thank Professor Karunyakara sir. I also thank the participant who participated in today's lecture. Also the coordinator of Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge, that is Shashikant Sambodhi, Vijay Kumbare, Suhas Kamlakar, Darshana Meshram, Smita Bhagat, and Sukeshni Thorat. Thank you to all. Now, lastly, I want to say that we are going to conduct the next lecture in next Saturday. So please come join with us for our next another lecture. Also, please subscribe Dalit Knowledge YouTube channel where this recorded session going to be uploaded soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. We will going to meet soon.